So a fella by the name of Tony contacted me, interested in having a quick look around the museum just to see what's going on, and also that he had some things that I might be a little bit interested in. He came around last week to pop his head in and also to drop off these things. These wonderful things, tremolo choral assemblies from old combo organs. Not exactly sure of the exact makes of these, but the story goes that he was working in a place, I'm not sure whether it was or it used to be an organ repair place, and these were sitting in the corner. And after a little bit of a chat, they ended up in the back of his van, and then after that they ended up in his garage for a couple of years. So he reached out to me to see if these were of interest after I mentioned that I sort of wanted to make dual Leslie speakers in the Game Boy Mega Machine. And wow, these things are awesome. They're a lot bigger than I was expecting. I haven't seen these types of assemblies this size in choral organs. They're usually a little bit smaller than this, but these are pretty massive. Around the back are 4 of them that are exactly the same. And I haven't actually seen these things in person before. And the amazing thing is these actual big drums on them, well, they're actually just big solid chunks of polystyrene. These ones haven't been painted, and as you can see, yeah, it's just raw polystyrene. It's really cool because I can imagine that does definitely save weight, because these things need to be spun around, and I guess they don't need to be as balanced as they spin, so they're potentially a little bit quieter. So what's the plan with these? Well, the ones that are identical, that's these 4 right here, they're actually going to end up in the Game Boy Mega Machine. The plan has pretty much always been to pop in some stereo Leslie speakers, but I never really knew how to. There has been mentions of this in numerous comments and stuff, and people like Stephen Anderson over on Patreon that, yeah, definitely this is a good idea. So that's the plan, and this is just the perfect time to do it, because it's not every day that these sort of things just turn up on your doorstep. This one differs slightly. I'm going to give this one away if anybody has an idea of what they want to do with it, and if I know that they're definitely going to do something with it. Not to mention that this one still has the speaker in. It's got pretty much all of the assembly in it. This one's pretty much good to go. It's I'm guessing it's still working. It looks like it's still working. I think it just needs main power and an amplifier, and this one will work. However, these ones are just the rotating assembly. The speakers have been removed. So let's have a look at one of the 4 that are the same. These are the ones that are going to end up in the bottom of the Game Boy Mega Machine. How cool is that? So there's going to be, to begin with, there's going to be 1 on either side, and then I'll keep the other 2 for later. Maybe I'll add the other 2 afterwards. But yeah, basically, if you don't know what a Leslie speaker is, basically it uses these rotating baffles, I think they're kind of termed, to sort of kind of make the Doppler effect, you know, like an ambulance going woo 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 woo, to sort of affect the sound and just make it sound a whole lot more whoa. They were initially made to make Hammond organs more interesting sounding, and yeah, it just it went. So at the top there's 2 motors, and both of these motors I think are running at the same speed. They just have different spindles on the bottom. This one's larger on this one side and this one's smaller, and that means you can adjust the speed by choosing which motor you want the central spinny bit to rub up against. There's actually a sort of a relay switch at the bottom. If you look carefully, there's this bit that moves a tiny amount. This moves a tiny amount, and this actually moves the central assembly onto either side of the spindles. If you look, you can see it moving really. If you look really closely, you can actually see it moving, and that's just enough to actually make it either rub on this side or this side. And then this is wired up by this rope, bit of elastic belt, onto this spindle sprocket thingamajiggy that is attached to this big old chunky bit of polystyrene that spins. So the first thing I think we should do is actually get this thing spinning. And it's quite simple. It's very simple, in fact. Get your mains plug. I'm in the UK, so I've got a funky looking one. And you know, it's I've cut the end of this off. I would definitely recommend not doing this unless you know what you're doing. You need to do this supervised. Don't do it if you haven't done it before. Make sure somebody else is around you that sort of knows what they're doing, because if you have this plugged in and you touch that, you're going to get electrocuted. You do not want that, so be very careful. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to wire it up to the fast speed. Let's get onto the fast speed. So that's this one, I think, the bigger spindles on the fast speed. So that one's on this side. Let's get some solder on this lovely thing. Oh, I'm excited. So excited to give it a go. Oh, I'm trying to, this is really old solder, so I don't know how old this is. It's probably, lovely. See what colours of wires are connecting. So black is on this side, so I'm guessing this is going to connect to blue. Now I'm just going to plug it in, and like I said, don't do this unless you know relatively what you're doing. You don't want to get electrocuted. Whoa, it was that easy. It was that easy. Oh, that's amazing. Don't touch that because it is electrocute-y wise. Oh, that's so cool. Ooh, baby, underwater, 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 spinning around, making all of the sounds, doing spinny things. Let's try the other speed, shall we? Oh, now we're on the next speed. This is the slower speed. Ooh, that's pretty cool, actually. That's pretty cool, actually. I don't know how well you heard that. Lovely day to be underwater. This is not as underwater as before. But as you know, there is no speaker on the back of here. Well, it just so happens that it just takes a standard 12-inch speaker, like so. Oh, I'm literally just going to screw this down and see what happens. Now if this was actually in the organ, there would usually be some sound deadening over the top of this side of the speaker, just to let sort of the air sort of move still a little bit freely, but you know, it doesn't make the sound bleed from the back. But I'm just going to try it now. This is just for experiments. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and wire it in. Use some speaker cable that is probably not fit for the job, but we're just going to do it anyway. Okay, I'll just play some notes. Right, let's turn it on. Oh my god! Slowing down again. So that's it, normal. This thing is amazing. I didn't realize it was going to be such a pronounced effect. It's really going to sound awesome when there's a couple of them in the Game Boy Mega Machine. What I need to do first is find another 12-inch speaker, and I need to find a PA kind of amplifier that's going to be able to amplify them both and then bolt them basically into the Game Boy Mega Machine. Hopefully I'll have that done by the weekend, so fingers crossed, keep it out. You've heard the two different speeds because of the ramp up kind of sounds that you get. The slower one sounds a little bit, you know, dreamy, and I'm definitely going to be putting a switch so you can adjust and have both speeds on both sides. So let's say there's two of these, you can have one going really quick and one going quite slow, or both of them going quick, and they'll always be out of phase because they'll be running, you know, separate to each other. Oh, this is so cool! I've sorted out a better microphone. I've realised I've been recording this in mono, which is never good. Okay, so these things are pretty damn awesome. I can't wait to put them into the Game Boy Mega Machine. Hopefully, I'll have them in by the weekend, so watch out for a video on that. Thanks a lot, Tony, for dropping these off. They're really awesome. I'm glad you kept one because, yeah, like, they're really cool. And like I said, oh, If anybody wants this one, which is a fully built-in one with a speaker and everything, well, let me know if you've got a good project idea that you have in mind and that you will definitely try and do. And because it's so big and bulky and stuff, it'll have to be picked up when the museum is open. But regardless, yeah, they're so cool, aren't they? They're so cool. So until next time, I'm Look Mum No Computer. There's a load of other content and stuff like that over on my Patreon and the YouTube membership if you're interested. But anyway, don't be scared to try it. Woo!